Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. At the Beijing Winter Olympics and the Paralympics review and awards ceremony held in Beijing yesterday, Xi Jinping said that the CCP should be given a gold medal for its great pandemic control. Is this really the case? So today I will show you a lot of videos and photos from Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shanghai to give you a real idea of what is really going on in China. You might think that you've already watched a lot, but there is still a lot more that will surprise you. First of all, a beautiful video of Shen Yun.
Oh, the show is phenomenal.
This is the best ever.
The way I look at Shen Yun is this heavenly experience. I have never seen in my life so many amazing dancers, so many amazing and beautiful costumes.
Everything in the movements and the smile and the emotion. Absolute perfection. I just have chills, can you tell?
The music is really extraordinary.
It sounded like it was pre-recorded. It was hard to believe it was actual live music. It was so perfect.
There's no other company in the United States that does this.
My heart was touched tonight.
I love every moment, especially the message of the Chinese ancient culture
That comes from our creator, and I could feel that in my heart and in my soul.
Our kids are 6 and 8 years old, and they enjoyed it and would like to come back to see it again. Everyone needs to see it. Absolutely everyone.
That comes from our creator, and I could feel that in my heart and in my soul. That's also how I feel every time I watch Shen Yun. Make sure you watch it with your family if you haven't. You can check this show schedule in your city, buy your tickets from shenyun.show/Jennifer-Zeng and save the handling fees. Now, let's move to what's happening in China now. The latest videos from Beijing show that a lot of police have arrived at Beijing's Jiuxianqiao area, and this area is under lockdown. And this notice says that Donglu community in Jiuxianqiao area is locked down because confirmed cases have been reported in this area. Businesses in this community should all close down while residents should stay at home. Please note that Jiuxianqiao is right in Chaoyang district in Beijing. It can be said to be a CBD area and is only about 8 miles away from Tiananmen Square, the heart of Beijing. Now, let's watch a video from Guangzhou, the capital city of Guangdong province. Now next one. So the one is also from Guangzhou city. So people are stocking up for the upcoming lockdown. So this is a picture also showing that a makeshift hospital for COVID is under emergent construction. And this post says that mass testing was done in Guangzhou today, and Guangzhou could be locked down at any moment. And this is our official notice from the CCP branch in Guangzhou City on April 8th, that is yesterday, asking staff members of government departments and state-owned enterprises to get ready to support the pandemic control work in the Baiyun district of Guangzhou by 8:30 a.m. on today. We all know that how fast the Omicron can spread. If this round of outbreaks comes from Omicron, it is not hard to imagine that more cities will be hit hard. But as Beijing is the capital city of China, while Guangzhou is one of the most important cities in terms of economy, anything that happens in these two cities will have a huge impact on China as a whole. Now let's look at Shanghai. Remember when we talked about the lockdown in Shanghai for the first time, I said that the lockdown was divided into two phases. For each phase, it was only 4 days, and only half of the city was locked down during these 4 days, and the lockdown would end on April 5th. However, today it is already April the 9th. Not only has the lockdown not ended, but it seems that Shanghai is under military control. Let's watch a video first. So this is in Shanghai. This is another one also showing a lot of military staff. They call it medical staff from the military going to the hospitals in Shanghai. And apart from the military, a large number of armed police is also maintaining the social stability in Shanghai. According to the CCP's own report, over 2,000 military medical staff members were sent to Shanghai, and over 50,000 police officers are now deployed to reinforce the lockdown of communities. And how are ordinary people doing in Shanghai? Let's watch another video. The next video shows that gunshots can be heard in the Jiuting area after people protested and demanded food. Some say those are not gunshots. I'm not quite sure, but many people from China and from Shanghai say they heard gunshots. The police actually shoot the gun towards this guy. And the next video is very, very surprising. So the CCP was asking residents to control their soul's desire for freedom. How straightforward is that? Imagine 26 million people are all locked up in their own homes. How can any government system in the world guarantee all their life needs? It is definitely a mission impossible. So many people are starving. Also, while the CCP forcefully detains those who tested positive but have no or very minor symptoms at hospitals or quarantine centers, those who are in critical condition cannot get treatment, and more people are dying. Let's watch another video. See they are running? Patients rescuing a doctor. They detain healthy people in the hospitals while those who really need medical care cannot get it. The next one shows the condition in one of the quarantine centers in China. I'm not sure where it is, but obviously in the CCP's China. Well, everyone is really equal in such a place. Everyone has a fairly large, environmentally friendly paper box. Now, let's see this pandemic control procedure in Shanghai, as well as other places that are under lockdown. I'm not sure who made it in Chinese. This one was translated into English by me. Do you see it? The only way out of all the nonsense is starving to death. It looks like a joke, but it is not really a joke. Look at this. This is a food voucher issued by March 30th by the authorities in Shanghai. Only people with these vouchers can get some food delivered at a certain place in the city. And this post says, it used an F word. It's the 21st century now. People in other countries are talking about traveling to Mars, and we are here discussing how we can avoid being starved to death. And this post says that in Shanghai, the richest city in China, some single ladies are now sleeping with the so-called volunteers or their neighbors just to get some food. I've heard of dozens of such cases. There must be more that have not become known. No ladies want to talk about this. I learned about this from some volunteers or neighbors who were boasting about it. Such a wonderful time really needs to be written down in the history books. And this is a notification from the US Embassy in China. It says that US diplomats in Shanghai are allowed to leave their posts due to the increased COVID cases and the COVID control policies adopted by PRC. I heard that diplomats are extremely frightened by the CCP's policy that infected children must be separated from their parents and be quarantined alone. The other day, I saw a post of a mother in Shanghai. Her child has tested positive, but she had tested negative. So she desperately asked how she could also test positive so that she could be taken away together with her child. Another mother told her that in order for her to test positive too, she had managed to put her child's nasal discharge into her own nose. What a joke. And what a great mother. All these are true stories happening in China now. And this post says that the lockdown in Shanghai will not be lifted until May the 1st. What to do after that will be decided on that day. There are also rumors that the lockdown in Shanghai will continue until June the 1st. Anyway, these are the CCP's numbers about cases in Shanghai. You can see that the case numbers are still soaring and have no sign of slowing down yet. But they only reported 7 deaths. This post says that all the highways in more than 4 provinces in China, including Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Shandong, Shanghai, Anhui, Hebei, Liaoning, Shanxi, Jilin, etc., will all be closed. And the people in the logistic industry don't know what they can do. This will severely impact the supply chain inside China. This post had been forwarded by many people before it was deleted. There are also rumors, more wild rumors, such as former CCP leader Jiang Zemin had fled Shanghai before the lockdown, and Xi Jinping wanted to arrest everyone on his list during the lockdown. So the lockdown is actually an excuse for him to arrest those people he wanted to arrest. I have no way to verify or disprove these kinds of rumors, but in the past few days, a number of CCP officials in Shanghai have really been removed for failing to control the pandemic. So there is no doubt that fierce power struggles are lying behind all the surface struggles. Yesterday, Xi Jinping made a speech at the Beijing Winter Olympics and Paralympics review and awards ceremony. He said that, quote, Beijing has become the world's first dual Olympic city, gathering momentum for the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. The Games has left a fruitful legacy with the success of the Games promoting regional development and the COVID-19 prevention and control being targeted and effective, which have played a key role in promoting solidarity, cooperation, and joint efforts to overcome difficulties globally, unquote. She is obviously very proud of the fact that the CCP can pool all resources to accomplish major tasks, and said that CCP should be given a gold medal for its successful pandemic control job. Well, ever since the CCP successfully cracked down on the Tiananmen student movement in 1989, Chinese people have found themselves being more and more controlled and isolated, more and more isolated from one another. Sometimes people ask me, Why don't Chinese people rise up and take down the CCP? As far as I can see, it is very hard for a revolution to break out in China now, when all the people are strictly controlled and isolated. They can hardly organize anything. However, the you die and I survive power struggle within the CCP may probably become the real force that will bring the CCP down one way or the other. That's why we need to closely watch all the surface things to understand what is happening behind the things. Also, as we said before, the Chinese pronunciation for Omicron is 我灭共, which means I eliminate the CCP. As far as I can see, while Omicron has helped many other countries to achieve herd immunity, it does have the potential to bring down the CCP, or at least do great damage to the CCP if the CCP insists on adopting its anti-science and anti-common sense zero-COVID policy to fight against Omicron. We can hardly estimate how much the Chinese economy and society will suffer because of this at this stage. If the CCP cannot suppress the virus, its zero-COVID legacy will collapse. And what will happen after that? No one knows. Well, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Almost all my recent videos are either yellow flagged or age restricted by YouTube. So I do need your support to spread the messages and for me to continue my truth-telling effort. So please share my channel and my videos to your family and friends, and consider signing up for a membership or making a donation at my website at jenniferzengblog.com to show your support. Thank you. See you next time.